China's central bank is asking Ant Group to shake up its lending and other consumer finance operations. It's the latest blow to its billionaire founder and controlling shareholder Jack Ma.
China is turning up the heat on the country's tech giant Alibaba, its lending arm Ant Group, and billionaire Jack Ma. On Sunday, the central bank announced it had asked Ant to shake up its lending and consumer finance operations. This is just the latest volley from Beijing, aimed at bringing Ma's sprawling financial empire to heel, after he publicly criticised the group's regulatory system in October for stifling innovation. Those comments are said to have prompted Chinese regulators to suspend Ant's IPO in Hong Kong and Shanghai in November. Ant was launched in 2004 and is China's biggest digital payments app, with some 130 million monthly users. Over time, it has expanded into loans, insurance, and more. And at $37 billion, its IPO had been set to be the world's largest stock market debut. Just last week, Chinese authorities also launched an antitrust investigation into Ma's e-commerce platform Alibaba. On the latest measures, Ant said in a statement it would establish a rectification working group and fully implement regulatory requirements. Representatives from the company met officials from the People's Bank of China over the weekend. Regulators are said to have accused Ant of poor governance, squeezing out competitors and harming consumer interests.
Ant Group is backed by China e-commerce giant Alibaba. It's innovated people's way of life in China, operating retail, business-to-business, and consumer-to-consumer platforms. But its dominance has also drawn attention from authorities.
They are taking business like deposit and loans away from the big commercial banks. And all these internet companies are privately owned. And you are threatening the survival of the state-owned commercial banks.
Luan says politics could also be behind the move.
We have access to hundreds of million people, and the government has no control, virtually no control over it. They actually threaten the direct rule of the Chinese Communist Party.
Luan says with the regime's tight control, the era of free growth for Ma's empire is over.
Their growth actually will be restricted by the government. The government will decide what you can do and what you cannot do. And in that case, when you lose your business freedom, I think the future is much, much dimmer.
The Chinese e-commerce giant is listed on the U.S. stock market. Its shares dropped to their lowest level since June over the weekend, losing $90 billion in market value.